Okay. Andy?
Okay, thanks so much. Hey, Becky.
Are there?
Um, how you doing? Um, despite Asia, Jackie, Kelsey, Chelsea playing heavy minutes in the playoffs last year, the team overall seemed to be in superb condition. I mean, their stamina seemed amazing given the long season. Do you guys set like an off-season conditioning regimen for each player? And if so, do you monitor their progress?
I wouldn't say it's a set program based on conditioning. We do have player development programs. But mostly like when you're talking about those big four, they never really get out of shape. They just take great care of their bodies year round. You know, Sometimes I'm like, stop, like just stop moving. They can't. They can't. They're just really the ultimate pros. I know they get I play them heavy minutes a lot of times, but when you talk about like AT and some of these players that can just Enrique who can play 40, they can play 40 pretty easy. Um, it's just over the long haul, I don't particularly like that because it's not sustainable, but could they? Yes. And they always more importantly, they always think they could play 40. So they never want to come out.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Matthew, go ahead.
Hey Becky, I have two for you. First, I was wondering if you could speak on your team signing of Tiffany Hayes and sort of what you think the process will look like for her, sort of becoming a part of the team, and then what you are expecting to get out of her.
Um, we're really excited about her. When you know, being that we don't know the exact date for Chelsea, um, we felt like we needed to add another guard that had some experience. I know she had announced her retirement, but I thought she was kind of very specific about, the WNBA. And if you know me, we're gonna shoot our shot. So we called, even though she had said she was retiring, and had a great conversation with her. She's somebody who's actually given us buckets in the past, so I know she's a super tough guard. Plays both ends of the floor, so that depth for us is just huge. And we're excited to get her out there and running with our group. I think she'll fit in great. Um, so yeah, it was just an attempt to lengthen our bench a little bit. Um, and we're super happy she said yes and took our phone call. That's for sure.
Gotcha. And then my second question is, you've talked so much over the last week or so about how you thought Kate right away was a pro and how you watched her at Iowa and you said she did things that you knew were translatable right away. I'm wondering what those things were and what things you saw from her that made you realize she was a pro right away.
Um, well, as great as Caitlin is, you don't get to two Final Fours just by yourself. And so I thought, Kate Martin was the next biggest key in those deep runs for them. And what translated is her brain. I mean, she's a basketball player. She understands um, angles. She understands right place, right spot. And she plays really, really hard, can guard multiple positions. So just a really versatile basketball player. And she's actually probably more athletic than I thought. Um, so and she plays hard. I mean, you earn minutes in the game by how you practice and your practice habits. And when I gave her minutes, it wasn't like that first game I went in there and I'm like, oh, I'm going to play her 25 to 30 minutes. It was just, I couldn't take her off the floor because she was doing so many little things that help us win. Um, and that's how you just keep earning trust and earning minutes is that, every time I put her in the game, I know exactly what I'm going to get. Solid, super solid.
Thank you.
Nikai, did you have anything?
A general question for Becky. I got to talk to Rebecca Lobo a little bit earlier today, and I was wondering, since you've been on the NBA side as well, why did you feel like it feels like more teams in the W are willing to blitz pick and rolls than it is on the NBA side? Why do you think that is, if you feel that way?
I don't know. I don't know if there's you got some analytics to back that up, or is that just a general feel by you, Nikai?
That's just general feel. I want to look into it.
Yeah, yeah. for us, I mean, I can't speak on the NBA side, but it's similar to why people can't press in the NBA or the WNBA. The players are too crafty with the ball, too fast with the ball, too skilled with the ball. And for us, go ask Luca if he gets blitzed much. I think it just depends on the player and what you're willing to live with. Dame used to get blitzed all the time. I know that was a frustration of his. So I know that they do it. Probably more towards personnel. With Luca, actually, I think Dallas was my last game with them. We were in Dallas and we had come out. That was my scout, actually. And I wanted to change the pick and roll at halftime because I thought he got a good beat on it. So a lot of it is just changing the look, making them constantly read different defenses. And I know that's kind of what we use it for. I don't think just blitzing every pick and roll is necessarily good. I think mixing it in at times and seeing what kind of success you have with it. But eventually, I don't care if it's on the W side or the NBA side, if you do a steady diet of any kind of thing, players will adjust and they'll eventually pick it apart.
Got you. Thank you.
Yep.
Callie, and then Jordan.
Hi, I have two for you. The news of the Tiffany Hayes signing dropped early this morning. I'm just curious what excites you the most about her game and what she can bring to the team.
I mean, she's a bucket. That's what excites me the most. She plays both ends of the ball. Just a proven vet in this league, and we think she's going to fit well with our group. Gives us another ball handler in some ways. I think teams have been as great as Kelsey and Jackie have been without Chelsea. It gives us another primary ball handler to use at times, to where I can get Jackie and Kelsey off the ball and get them in some different kind of actions. So, she's a pro. She's an all-star. So I wasn't gonna, like I said, like I tell my team, I was like, we might try and fail. I might try and fail, but it'll never be for lack of trying. And so we were going to try to get her, even though she had announced her retirement. We just think she's a heck of a player. And anytime you can just add a hooper to your squad, you do that.
Absolutely. And then obviously you had Kate and Megan all of training camp. And then when you added Emma Cannon, the season hadn't started yet. How different will it be to integrate Tiffany into the team now that the games are in full swing?
I think the biggest thing is just getting her acclimated to our system. It's a lot, but at the end of the day, it's structure with freedom. And I think she's somebody with freedom and space. She's going to be a super, super tough guard to keep in front. So, and I think we still got to get her in a little bit of shape, so there's some things that we want to work on. I don't want to put her in there and run her for 40 right away, but the sooner the better we can get her comfortable in our system and comfortable with our players. That's the goal. And that's first things first. But we're hoping to have her ready to go, by this next road trip after we get back from Atlanta.
Thank you.
And Jordan, we'll close it out with you.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you.
All right, so I just have two quick ones for you. My first one is regarding Tina Charles. She's another star on the Atlanta side. So just talk about what's it been like seeing her back in the league and what she's done for the Dream.
Well, man, I played against Tina Charles my last year, I think, and with her overseas. So I know I'm very familiar with Tina. She just gives them that interior presence. She's a scorer that you have to respect her. I mean, she's somebody who can just kill you with twos, great on the board. So I think she's a nice pickup for them. I know she's certainly a handful for defenses and somebody you definitely have to game plan for, but definitely just adds, like I said before, enough in regards to us adding Tiffany Hayes, them adding Tina Charles, anytime she's a baller, anytime you can just add a straight hooper scorer, you go out and you do that. So yeah, she's been playing well for them.
And just one quick other question. So obviously last game you guys won, but I know the turnovers were kind of a killer for you. Seeing all those turnovers. So was that one of the major things you picked on the team as they go into tonight's game, taking care of the ball?
That's atypical of us. We normally take really good care of the ball. So, every now and then if we lay an egg in the turnover department, I'm okay with that because I just know traditionally and historically we've taken very good care of the ball. You know, some of that was the Minnesota defense and some of that was us. So we're certainly going to try to clean that up. Yeah. But mostly I want them to go out and execute defensively. I'm still on them about that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.